Sanchez back down the pit lane.
Flat tire. Looks like he's had some contact. Both those right side tires.
Well, and this is the point in an elimination race where you start celebrating those that are going to be eliminated for the season they had. Rookie campaign, Sanchez won the race at Atlanta. I think about Harrison Burton down there. A host of problems today, but we're so good down the stretch of the regular season, getting AM racing into the postseason. And now we go Austin Hill Radio, 11 laps to go.
Keep up in the infield. I just can't go on the big straightaway. 54 is the biggest one that we're racing right now. We're 9 out at this point. We just got to hope get some help here at the end. We'll see if we get some restarts.
Yeah, we see it. Like, infield, not bad. Acceleration on the corners, not bad. Handling looks good. And just get halfway down into these long straightaways, and the 21's just tongues hanging out.
Hope is never a good strategy, but in this case, it's about the only one they have on offer.
It looks to me like it's getting way worse right there, too. It doesn't want to accelerate at all now.
Carson Plopple came in 9 points above the cut line. Here he is, trying to make a pass for position, plus 12, as they run with 10 laps to go.
Steady technique.
I do believe Taylor Gray is probably going to lose a couple. He could have turned in. He just gave him the room. Yeah. He saw it. He said, you just come on through.
I can give up another point or two right here.
Yep. I've always asked that of you guys throughout the season. How much as a driver do you want to know? And a lot of times drivers will say, you guys have been there, I don't want to know anything. Let me drive the race car. But in this situation,
I think you do.
You have to.
Right? Yeah. It changes the way you do business.
100% you want to know. And I think it's important for fans to know as you watch this that we get to see the excitement. This change lap to lap. The drivers don't know. But as this closes down, if I'm the crew chief, the spotter, I'm going to update him. Like, hey, we can lose 1 or 2 more, but we got to go now. Or just keep updating me on the situation.
Brandon Jones already locked in to the round of 8. He's not had a great day. Some of that could be the fact they spent their week prepping for Las Vegas, the opening race in the round of 8, instead of here today, because today really didn't mean anything for that 20 team after the victory last Saturday in Kansas.
You can hear that 21. It sounds terrible.
Yeah. Every time it goes by, it's a very distinctive sound. It looks to me like it's getting worse.
Yeah.
If it lost 1 cylinder, sometimes those parts will float around in the engine and end up getting another one as the longer you run. But yeah, it just looks to me like it's struggling more and more every lap. This one's not.
Nope.
This one's running like a top.
You know, we started the year at Daytona talking about this great rookie class. Little did we know what Connor Zilich had in the bank, staring win number 10 right in the eyes here today. But as they run on track, 3 rookies got a shot to advance to the round of 8. So these young drivers, initial campaign running full time, getting it done big time. And here's the veteran, Justin Allgaier, making his 500th career start, the reigning champ. And running in the runner-up position, is already advanced to the round of 8 on points, and a solid performance here this afternoon.
Great run by Allgaier today. And I think it's safe to say that both those guys, It'll be really fun to watch.
I feel like the front 2 of this race are each in their own class, and then we have everybody else right now. Connor Zilich has been incredibly fast. Allgaier's been the closest to him all day from practice and qualifying, but just hasn't quite kept up with him. And then here's Connor Mozak leading the rest of the field, I feel like, in pace.
It's been a quiet day, I feel like, too, from the 9. We haven't talked a lot about Connor, but put together a great race. It had good strategy. He stayed out of trouble all day long, having a career day here.
Outstanding effort 2 years in a row for Junior Motorsports here on the Charlotte Roval. And what about running 4th? Austin Green, every time we go to a road course, part-timer, but he shows how talented he is. Gotten it done all season long when he runs one of these cars for Jordan Anderson Racing. Good in practice, good in qualifying, and backing it up in the race. 4th right now with 8 to go.
Yeah, and when we look at those guys, you know, we haven't talked a lot about Connor Mozak or Austin Green because of the playoffs and how exciting the points are, but that's so big for those drivers and those teams to be able to put this together.
Gray +6. Veteran crew chief Jason Ratcliffe has enjoyed so much success. And it's been a good combination this year.
My friends here for 6 laps.
We feel it. And he's got Sam Mayer coming up behind him now. He's quite a bit faster than him the last couple of laps. Most likely lose that position, but then it's a bit of a gap to Daniel Hemrick back there. They'd settle around 5 points to the good.
The one that I just has had an amazing day, Jesse Love. You see plus 15 right there, but when you look at the stage points, he's earned 19 stage points today. They have had an incredible race to be able to put themselves in this position. It's been a lot of fun to watch.
And hey, we talked about his teammate Austin Hill, who's so good in the draft, and how dangerous he could be if he gets to the round of 8. Jesse Love in that same category, such a good drafter. Won earlier this season at Daytona. He advances. You go to Talladega, you win. You're in a championship 4. The other thing I would say about him, he now has playoff experience. Got to the round of 8 last year as a rookie. So to have that under your belt going back could be a confidence builder for this race team.
And I know they're buddies, but if I had to pick one of some cars I didn't want to make it to Phoenix, that Jesse Love would be one of those. He's really good at Phoenix. If he's able to be a part of the championship 4, he's definitely a championship threat.
Oh, 9's on pit road.
He's running inside the top 5. Connor Mozak making an unscheduled pit stop here, Dylan.
Yeah, it sounds like they've got a fuel pressure issue of some sort, so unscheduled, as you said, and a bummer ending to this day. It was a really, really solid all-around performance from Mozak in the 19.
Graduated from High Point University, and we've told his story. Tremendous road racer, getting it done over in the Craftsman Truck Series, but pops up occasionally driving an Xfinity car. I remember when he made his debut on the road at Portland a few years ago, impressed everybody. That time out driving a Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Last couple of years here at the Roval for Junior Motorsports, and today definitely not going to get the finish he deserves.
Heartbreak, but he needs to be proud of what he's done today. Did a great job. It just didn't work out.
A couple of more young drivers from Junior Motorsports. Sammy Smith, Carson Quapple, 9th and 10th.
Playing nicely, boys. Look at that. Sammy gave him a little room. Gonna have the momentum on exit right here. Those two guys. It's got to be somebody on the radio being like, be clean. You guys are both in good position right now. We don't need any cautions or to lose any points.
Sammy Smith just desperately needs to get going. Needs positions. This is not what he wants to be dealing with. He's trying to fend off a car from behind him. He wants to be focused going ahead. Of course, Casgralla and Jeff Burton.
But what a day for Junior Motorsports. You sweep the top 5 positions in qualifying. You win a stage in the form of Connor Zilic. He's led the most laps, got a spot to win it. Chance to put 3 cars on to the round of 8. JRM's been outstanding here this afternoon. Let's get a report from Dylan.
And I think you guys have talked about it for the 8 on Sammy Smith. And just kind of one of those situations where they got buried too deep in traffic, and now they've sort of run out of time, but they've also sort of run out of cars to pass. So as he sits here in the 9th spot right now, 6 out, it's going to take a lot of guys falling out in front of them for them to be in a position to capitalize on all that. And a tough way to end this. They put together a really good day. Sammy did a lot of prep for this one. He said, my road course stuff this year has taken a huge step forward. I feel really confident about it. But barring a miracle, it may be the end of the road for the 8 car today, Cam.
Dylan, headed into this weekend, I don't know that the 54 team of Taylor Gray thought that this is what they were going to have in mind when they thought about their program here at the Roval. It just was a day that did not start off good. Really low grade to qualify grade. He has been on an ill-handling race car all race long. In fact, he told me before the race, we are just slow. And it's not just the car, it's the driver too. Jason Radcliffe, though, the veteran crew chief, made a great strategy call before the end of stage 2 to flip the stage, get track position, put them in a spot to be plus to the cut line. Right now, though, Gray is trying to hang on, currently running plus 6 with 4 laps to go. The team giving him a points update about every lap or so.
That's what it's all about. Survive and advance. You get you reset and the day might be done for Sammy Smith when you think about the opportunity to make a late race rally and get some help to advance. Here he is on pit road. Tough break for Sammy Smith, Dylan.
Well, and I think this may be by design. Look, you're not going to just drive through the field here with 4 laps to go, but if we get a yellow here and you've already pitted, tires matter. So they're going to come down here, nothing to lose. They'll put tires on here. We talked about needing a miracle. Sometimes you got to take things into your own hands and make one of those yellow. That's maybe what they needed for the 8.
Oh my, it's like a Hail Mary call.
Wow.
And the prayers may be answered for Sammy Smith. This is remarkable.
absolute game changer here.
Look at those guys.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. You hit, you throw the Hail Mary. Sage Karam has a problem. The caution comes out, and it may be the break the 18 needed.
Talk about a turn of events immediately.
You think it's over?
Yeah, the frustration for Taylor Gray and Sammy Smith thinking he was having at him, and now all of a sudden might be in the best position of anybody.
And we know how much tires are worth, so I assume most of your leaders are going to have to come down pit road. We did see Nick Sanchez hang on in that first stage. They're late for a couple laps on old tires, but with fall off being over 2 seconds per lap.
How about the guts from Philip Bell, the crew chief, who said, you know what? This is our only path. We're going to do it. We're going to live with it. And bam, this may be it.
That's a great call.
The hits just keep on coming today for Junior Motorsports.
Yeah.
And Connor Zilic is like, are you kidding me? That's 5 more points that I could take to the next round, a 10th win. And instead, the caution comes out, and now decision-making time. Back down to Dylan.
So a little bit of an update on this. This was not planned. They had a right front coming apart, and it is back here behind the pit wall. So they got lucky with that. But again, sometimes you got to be lucky. Sometimes you got to be good. They may have been both. This is the right front that just came off the 8 car. Timing was impeccable there, and they are in the catbird seat here potentially.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't a gutsy call by Bell, but as Dylan said and I said, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. And hey, keep this in mind as we start looking ahead. If they can advance one last fall, Talladega, so another one of those drivers that you start thinking about in the next round. And he was outstanding at Martinsville earlier this season. Wow, this race never disappoints. The Charlotte Roval always produces something. Here's what brought out the caution for a 5th time today.
Well, we talked about this being the longest run of the day. Sammy Smith having the issue that he had with that same right front tire. Sage Karam. See that tire goes down, comes apart.
Yeah, and Sammy Smith's issue there, it looked like those were definite flat spots that developed into blisters and eventually just started courting the tire. We've seen that all weekend in trucks and Xfinity. You lock these tires up, they don't last very long.
We're going to go to overtime. And as I look at our leaderboard here, you know, road courses, you just don't put a lot of drivers a lap down. And we got 30 cars on the lead lap. And where does that factor in to how you handle this situation? Because as we all know, tires have been the end-all be-all. We saw it there at the end of stage 1. We saw it yesterday in the Truck Series race. We've seen it right here in the Xfinity race at the Charlotte Roval. It happened 1 season ago. Now we get some team radio, Taylor Gray, and the 54 group.
Thank you for the heat right there. Well, it was going to be bad, but he was on pit road and the caution came out. So he's got 4 tires. We're working through it here. Be ready. Let me know when it opens, Tony.
Can you
They thought the same thing.
You can feel the stress,
Like, really?
and the anxiety. By the way, we're going to overtime for a 5th time of the last 6 Roval races. Free racing on a Saturday evening here on the CW. Pit road open.
See how many games are played right now. Fake outs.
Wants to take a big risk.
Zilic stays, Allgaier comes.
Ooh, had a few stay out here.
I don't say it's split, but less came than what I thought. Here they are, Kim.
Yeah, you saw the 88 stay out. Marty Lindley said the only way we're going to win this race is if we stay out. Creed, though, the 00, they were going to do what the 7 does. So just now, Allgaier came down, Creed came down. They think fresh tires is going to help them here with the overtime.
And Allgaier's been pretty happy with his balance. He'll change 4 tires in fuel here. You saw the chassis adjustment. Have to imagine that's just to help him on the short run here with this restart coming in overtime. So Allgaier will get out here and try to take advantage of those new tires.
It's never easy. It's just never easy. And here's what I think of is Allgaier drives off the pit lane. Yeah, the magnitude of this restart. And I'm not just talking about who jumps out to the race lead. I'm talking about the chaos that we see so many times in this race on the restarts and the impact that can have on all these drivers that are chasing a playoff position. It's not just about passing cars. It's about avoiding the clutter and making sure you're not a victim of the game that is the Charlotte Roval.
You saw the hood up on the 21. Those guys are praying that they can find a plug wire that is just falling off. Something very simple that can be fixed. Most likely not, but you see they're going to take a look at that and hope they can get Austin Hill back out.
And they would love to see that chaos that you're mentioning, Adam.
The more the better for the 21
Yes,
right now.
that would be the best opportunity for them.
Zilic stays out, he'll be in control. Austin Green stays out, so does Jeb Burton. Taylor Gray, a big one to mention, has stayed on track. And then we'll see where it cycles for everybody else once they come back around. But you want the buffer if you're up front. And I will say for Zilic, several guys stayed out. And I know he's on old tires, but we also know how good he is at this. It had to be really, really good when he looked up in the rearview mirror and a bunch of guys were coming with him to create that insurance policy between him and those guys that have the fresh tires.
That's what he needed, and through all this, Sammy Smith basically nets out one position better than when he came into pit road into 8th.
And Mozak, made the unscheduled pit stop, and it all cycles for him as well as he stays out here.
And he can see Taylor Gray right up ahead of him. He knows that's the target.
And he's tied at the cut line with his teammate Carson Kvapil, who did pit and will restart 22nd.
Of course, Carson, if he doesn't get caught in a wreck, is going to be able to make up. We assume he's going to be able to pass quite a few cars having fresh tires and being that far back in the pack.
I believe he's 7th in line, Carson is, of the drivers that pitted. Let's look at tiebreaker scenarios. It's best finish in the round. And right now, both Kvapil and Sammy Smith have a 4th. You would go to the next in line. Based on what I'm seeing here, that 8th place finish, the 15th place finish, would be it. Nope, Sammy Smith 8th today would be the difference. I do believe would be the tiebreaker there as they each have a 4th place finish, Kvapil and Sammy.
So now for Connor Zilic and all these guys on old tires, you see them trying to clean it up and get going. We've seen how tough it is on older tires. If you're Sammy Smith on those newer tires, you're going to do everything you can to just utilize those. You don't want to get trapped.
It turns 1, 2, 3. This is when the craziness breaks out, when you get the tire discrepancy. Some good cars in the back with better tires.
Caution comes out before we get the white flag. We'll do it all again. It's overtime, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Time to settle it at the Charlotte Roval.
And Austin Green got a great start there.
Casper all looking the inside.
Oh, a little bit of contact, not bad.
Zilic away with the lead. And watch the standings. They will continue to change.
Clean so far this turn. Oh, there's going to be turned around right here. The 54 makes contact. Oh, he can't get going right now. Fortunately, he got his teammate Brandon Jones right behind him.
Gray at +5, but he's sliding in the wrong direction. Allgaier goes by on the fresher tires. Gray now at +1 as they continue to scream by.
Oh,
look at that diving in. Sanchez goes in there. There goes Alex LeBay around.
Adam Poole runs into him. Carson Kvapil narrowly avoided it. This could bring out a caution. I don't know if 07 can get going right here.
Right now we stay green. Leaders coming through the chicane on the back straightaway. Look at that cut line. Sammy Smith. And there's a 3-way tie at the cut right now. Gray, Smith, and Kvapil. This is crazy.
Taylor Gray needs to get all he can right here and hope Jesse Love, you see him on his inside, doesn't get by him. He's going to have to race him hard.
You've got a car sparking. That's Chris Eckes. Smoke. Oh, he's locking the rear tires here in the final chicane.
We've seen the white flag.
Oh,
Next
Jesse
flag
got
in the
checked
race.
up.
Connor Zilic leading.
White flag.
We look at that cut line. Kvapil +3, Sammy Smith +1, -1 for Taylor Gray. Sanchez only 9 out. If things get really wild here for this group.
I think Gray's going to have enough speed to get back by the 2. Jesse's been better all day long.
He's just got to do anything he can to get back to him here, especially if you get to the final chicane within striking distance.
And there's the
There's a
caution.
fluid down the back. Fluid exit.
The race will be official when they come back around. Connor Zilic leading. Sammy Smith right now in the third position, scored at +1. Just in front of him, Carson Kvapil at +3. Taylor Gray -1. But I want everybody to come back before we tell you officially who is advancing to the round of 8.
Both those guys got to be on the radio asking what's the current situation. You think about Sammy Smith there. It's over.
Look at this. I mean, Austin Green drove up there, and I'm not sure if he's disputing where they were at the time of caution. We can go back and review it, but we've gotten confirmation from NASCAR. It was Connor Zilic out front at the time of caution. Here he is. Trophy number 10 for Connor Zilic comes at the Charlotte Roval.
How about Austin Green coming
Career
up second?
best.
Great job. Unbelievable. Great job.
Career best for Austin Green, who won the ARCA race on the oval here in the spring.
Spectacular day for him.
He had a great restart there.
He did.
Restart.
Probably the best restart we've seen on the inside all day long.
Most competitive with Connor.
Yeah.
Sammy Smith finishes in the third position. And as I look at our standings right now, we're showing a tie at the cut with Sammy Smith and the 54 of Taylor Gray. But some of that may have changed because he had the advantage when we saw the caution flag. Again, we got to review all of this to make everything official.
Sounded like a little dejection on the 54 radio. Maybe they're thinking the same as what we were right there.
Looks like Carson Kvapil is good at +2. He ends up 15th after coming down and getting those fresher tires and restarting outside the top 20. If it all works out and it is official and Sammy Smith does move on, think about the way the playoffs started. Engine problems early at Bristol. You got to come back, and he does. Great effort with a top 5 last week at Kansas, and he was a bulldog here today, fighting, scratching, clawing to keep himself in the game. The tire that goes down, the pit stop, the caution comes out. And right now, it would appear he's in position, but still no official word from NASCAR, who gets that 8th and final position all time behind A.J. Allmendinger. Just an incredible rookie season. His win total has reached double digits. They're going to have to start putting win stickers on the bumper. And with an exclamation point, the man that won the regular season title is on to the round of 8. And he'll be the #1 seed.
You better be careful right there, yeah.
And thanks for being patient with us, but we have still not received official word on who gets the 8th and final position. Sammy Smith or Taylor Gray.
Well, you see what it means. You look at Taylor Gray's face right there. See the stress, the worry of, am I in or am I not?
And you want some parallels about young, talented drivers? Yesterday, Corey Heim gets his 10th win of the season in the Truck Series. Today, it's Connor Zilic. Here's Kim Kuhn.
Connor Zilic enters the double-digit club. You said that was a goal, 10 wins on the season. But let's talk about that late race restart. Crew Chief Marty Lindley said the only way you were winning that race is to stay out. How did you keep the guys on newer tires away?
Enough people stayed out with me to give me a gap. So, man, thank you all for coming out, first of all. So much fun getting to race in my hometown. Junior Motorsports cars were so fast this weekend, and yeah, my WeatherTech Chevrolet was as fast as Xfinity Mobile all day long. First in practice, qualified on the pole, led a lot of laps, and came home with a win. So feels really good to get 10 double digits is pretty awesome for my first year in this series. So now we just got to go win a championship.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Connor Zilic is a winner here at the Charlotte Roval.
He mentioned being able to to win at Charlotte. It is a really special place. All these team guys obviously live here. A lot of the families come out from the teams. They don't get to go, with their family members each weekend. So it's a tremendously special place to be able to win at.
What's going through the minds of these three right now is they're just waiting confirmation. It's NASCAR's working to make sure what the finishing order was.
I mentioned the Heim Zilich situation. First time since 1974 that multiple drivers in the top 3 series of NASCAR have won 10 races. And we go to the playoff standings, and that's the story we've been telling you. Kvapil showing at +2, and a tie at the cut for Smith and Gray. And all of this is unofficial as NASCAR goes through their review process. Feel real comfortable, about Sam Mayer at +25. Love and Creed. I mean, I think everything's good there, even Kvapil. But I'm so hesitant to make any confirmations until we get word from NASCAR. When a caution comes out like that, in an overtime situation, you got cars scattered everywhere, and you want to allow NASCAR to go through their process, review the tape, and make sure we know exactly where things stand. We had given you there late the tiebreaker situation between Sammy Smith and Carson Kvapil. We now do it for Sammy and Taylor Gray, and this is an easy one. It would go to Sammy Smith because it's best finish in the round, and coming into the day he had it, and then that third place today would help deliver that for Sammy Smith. And look at the comeback. I mean, he's 37th at Bristol, 4th at Kansas, 3rd this afternoon. Just a great effort by Sammy. 24 points below the cut line after the engine failure in Bristol, Tennessee for driver 8.
Well, for the bad luck that he had at Bristol with the engine failure, all of that flipped today with having the tire issue. You could say bad luck from the lockups, but then they get on pit road. The caution falls within seconds of them getting on pit road. He's able to cycle to the front. I mean, as fortunate as Sammy was, obviously the frustration you see on the right-hand side of your screen for Taylor, who did not have a good car today, Parker, but he did a really good job managing the race and staying out of trouble and was going to be in a good position here.
They did everything they could on that 54 in terms of putting him in the right position, track position-wise, and obviously everything unfolded. The caution was unfortunate for them. But I also go back to Kansas for Sammy Smith and how that team responded to the devastation of what happened at Bristol and had put on an epic performance there, backed it up here today. I think this is a very powerful moment for that 8 team and Sammy Smith, considering the performances that they put these last 2 races.
I look at these 2 drivers in this situation, and I rewind a number of months back to Martinsville in the spring.
Yeah.
And they were the storyline there for different reasons. When Taylor Gray appeared to be maybe on his way to the victory, right? And then Sammy Smith had the contact, and we know the confrontation that followed. And now today they both sit and wait to see what their fate is in regard to the playoffs and trying to advance out of the round of 12.
Well, Taylor Gray would like to have those 5 right now from Martinsville.
Just one of them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
A great effort by both these teams.
I can only imagine what the anxiety is like for those 2, because for us up here, what is it? Like, it's palpable right now.
Well, as we sit here now, they're tied. And we know, and we have shown you, the tiebreaker goes to Sammy Smith. What's in question here and what NASCAR is looking at is the finish for Taylor Gray. Because right now, unofficially on our board, he shows 12th. But if NASCAR goes back and looks at this and says, wait a minute, at the time of caution, he was actually 11th, that means he gets 1 more point, and there's no longer a tie, and it's Gray that advances. Every position is a point, and we sell this, right? And I know at times fans are like, they're so dramatic. This is why it matters. And when you think of the history of the Xfinity Series and the playoffs, and the margins advancing from the round of 12 to the round of 8, more often than not, the difference in that 8th and 9th position is less than 5 points. Today, it might be dead even, and we decided on a tiebreaker.
Well, anytime. It'd be great. I'll tell you right now.
If you're Taylor Gray, you're just hoping this falls your way somehow.
Yeah,
Like,
and
you're recounting everything you did. Where were you on track?
Sammy knows where he finished, right?
Yeah.
There's no doubt here. I feel like Taylor, I mean, you're just reading body language, like just looks dejected. Maybe there's just hope. You mentioned that's not a great plan.
It's just amazing how everything flipped there late in this race. Saw a slight celebration
Well,
there.
I thought he knew
and I was
something.
like, oh, maybe we've got word. And I don't believe we do. No, I just go back to the situation for Sammy Smith and all they had done to put themselves in position and the flip of track position, and now you're on the outside looking in. Tire goes down, you make the pit stop, and we were unsure that the tire was going down. We just thought it was a gutsy call because this was their only path to be able to make it work and then pray for a caution. And just as he comes down and gets the service, we get the caution. And all of that is what made this possible for Sammy Smith, Phillip Bell, and everybody with that 18.
They hit the lottery in that one.
You know, here's the other thought on this. If it stays this way and it is Sammy Smith that advances, Junior Motorsports, all 4 of their cars into the round of 8, which is just remarkable.
Yeah, based on the way they've run this year, not surprised at all. I mean, they have been so good at every type of a racetrack that we've been to.
Well, Zilich's win today, that's number 17 for JRM. They've done it with 6 different drivers. I would say 6.5 because, Parker, we know how
You're only
instrumental
1.5.
you were in helping in it. And I say that only how we rule it officially that Zilich was ruled the winner. But 17 wins, they go to 7-0 on the road courses this year as Junior Motorsports. And now we look and try to eavesdrop a little bit on what NASCAR is
taking
saying.
so long. Doesn't seem
Pretty
like
clear.
there's really anything to decide right here. You see he's right behind Jesse Love, who they actually, it looks to me like they're scoring Love behind him right now. So I don't know.
Yeah, and I would say, the caution light is on there. I will remind you that that's unofficial on the final lap. It's the timestamp, and you see the time of caution from race control, bottom of your screen.
But do you not agree? Like when we look at that, Love's in front of him, and Love is actually scored behind him. So
Unless it's how they cross the line somehow, sometimes as the caution comes out, some guys drive around you, but that's not actually where they finished when you come to the line. That's what I'm guessing.
right.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, but I guess
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
No,
that's the timestamp, and Jesse Love's in front of him. I don't understand.
The only other thing I can think is that they're trying to look at a little bit of maybe where Carson Kvapil was there because he was actually side by side with a couple cars.
Fair enough.
And the word we're getting from NASCAR is once the caution came out, Taylor Gray continued to advance his position.
Which makes sense,
Yeah, right.
based on what we see right
Absolutely. And so that's what NASCAR's sorting through, just to be certain where he was. Here's the time of caution, and even though it's unofficial, you can see the light is illuminated.
there. And Love's ahead of him
Yeah,
at
right.
this point.
He's going to go up here and potentially pass Jesse Love.
There's good potential, I can tell you.
Yeah,
that he's going to pass
I think
him.
it's a possibility. And here it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm with you, Park. I can't believe that's what we're looking at. I mean, it's obvious the caution is out.
But as you said, even, based on everything we see, our timing and scoring monitor is showing that Taylor Gray is in front of Jesse Love. We don't believe that's how it will end.
No.
But even if it does, the tiebreaker goes to Sammy Smith.
Right.
And so we would believe once you get that corrected, you put the 54 behind the 2, the insurance gets even greater at
It
plus
gives a bit of
1 at the cut line for
It
Smith.
makes me think they're looking more at Kvapil.
Yeah,
I just can't.
that's what I
It's got to
believe.
be more that they're looking at Kvapil because he passed all those cars on the last lap.
Well, and when we wrap this thing up, we had that shot of Kvapil, and there was some uncertainty there. It did appear on where they stood with things. It is official. They've taken the position away from Taylor Gray, and we don't even need the tiebreaker. By 1 point, Sammy Smith is on to the round of 8. All 4 Junior Motorsports cars still alive. The wait is over. Here's Carla.
How brutal of a moment was that to wait for, Sammy?
I mean, yeah, it was a hard-fought day for sure. We brought speed. I'm very proud of our effort that we put in this week to be able to put ourselves in this position. We knew it was going to take a lot. So I'm very proud of everyone at JRM, everyone on my team. Phillip made a great call to pit. Obviously, it was a Hail Mary move, and it worked. So just thank you to Pilot, TMC, All-State Peterbilt Group, Chevrolet, JRM, everyone that helped out. Obviously, I appreciate most of that. Kind of let me in there on that turn one deal just so I could, make something happen. And I was able to do that, and I'm just excited to go try to race for another championship here and put ourselves in a position we can make the Final Four.
All right, a great comeback by the 80 is officially advancing, Dylan.
And of course, the flip side of that coin is Taylor Gray, who is eliminated. You do everything you can kind of on a roller coaster day, and then you got to sit and wait for it. What emotions are going through your head right now?
Yeah, I'm just obviously bummed out, right? Don't be able to go race for a championship at the end of the year. So just weren't good enough. We weren't good enough today. We didn't have a good Bristol. And, we shouldn't even have to be in this spot, but we are, and we're going to take our loss and move on to the next four and try to go win us a couple races.
Thanks, Taylor.
The focus now on getting career win number 1. And for Sammy Smith, even though you advanced by 1 point, as we said, it's all about survive and advance. And now we reset and do it all again. Las Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville on the way. Connor Zilich, not a lot of drama at the front. 88 with number 10. And he'll be the number 1 seed when we reset in Sin City.
When my doctor gave me breast treatment,